The most advanced video that is part of your training is how to create a Google form, because this is different than a doc or a PowerPoint. You're going to click create in your Drive and hit form. The first thing you're going to do is name the form, but before that a little template comes up so you can choose what design you want your form to have. So you can use school and hit OK. Then you can title your form. And then we're going to make our questions. So I already have some over here. And the cool thing with these questions and why you might want to use Google Forms is you can have conditional formatting. And it depends on if you use text or paragraph text. And so I had included a link about what that looks like. But let's say you want your students to write a paragraph and work on their writing skills. You can leave it like that, but you can also add some conditions. For example, you might want their text to be at least 100 words, 100 characters. Or you might want to make sure it's concise and it's less than 300 characters. Alternatively, you can say what words should or shouldn't be in there. So if you want it to contain the word because, you might write because. Let's say you don't want it to contain it. You're going to say it does not contain it, either capitalized or lowercase, and then the T. And then you're going to write, when that student gets an error, if they include it, you're going to say, you can't include it in your response. Be specific and avoid pronouns. So that's kind of how you might want to do an open response. You can add, I'm going to show you a multiple choice. So I need to change the question type, copy my question over, trying to make this fast for you guys. Have my help text, multiple choice, 3, 2, or 1. And then if you want to rearrange the order, you know, if you're working on distractors, you can do that. And then you can check out advanced settings. I don't know what they are. It should be a required question. Done. And then let's do one more item so you guys can see that conditional text again. So how do you spell my last name? This is going to be short text, so you don't need a long box, you just need short. We can do advanced settings. And now if we do text, we can say, well, it has to match and something. And then my error text might be sound it out. So this actually won't let them submit it until they find that exact answer, which might be helpful for some teachers. So I'm going to make that a required question and hit done. When I'm done, I just want to check my defaults. You probably should have only Renew Schools domains have access to it, so no one else can get into it. That doesn't really matter, but you can just leave it. This is something you want to make sure to check so that every time a student submits a form, their username is in there, so you know which student submitted which answer. Progress bar is optional, but if you have a longer practice form, it might be helpful so students know how far they've gone. Next, the confirmation page after they submit the form, what are they going to see? Because we're working with playlists, you always want to say your response has been recorded. Close this tab and go back to your class playlist. You probably don't want to have them submit another response. If you want to see them view all the links or all the answers, you can. That's fine. You probably don't want to have them edit their responses and go back, but that's up to you. After you have your settings done, double check up here. You can hit send form. You're going to copy this URL to put in your playlist and hit done. Let's try it again. Okay. If you want to see the live form, you can click here. My computer's being slow. So that would show you what the survey actually looks like. And if my computer wants to work, you'll also notice that the responses are automatically being submitted in whatever folder you created it in. So we can go back and look at the responses, which I'd love to show you. Here we go. It's awesome. 3. So we can't include it, right? And then let's see, I guess it wrong. Sound it out. All right, I made it. And now submit. Submit. My internet's being wonky here. So anyway, that submits. Our confirmation page is exactly what we typed in, so they are reminded to close the tab and go back to the playlist. And if we look in our responses, we'll see that that user has their open response, has their multiple choice question, and has their text question. And I'm just going to remind you guys by typing in Doctopus and Gubrick are 2 things worth looking into, but I'll send videos out on those once I look into them. That pretty much automatically gives a grade. So if your answer was 3, that automatically gives you a 33%. So it limits teacher grading by using the forms.